I tend to use Google with a lot of families, unless they consider themselves, staunch Apple advocates, or there's some schools that have go Apple, and that's what they use. And if that's the case, then Apple has a lot of great features, and there are others that are Microsoft schools, Microsoft for education. But for most homeschooling families, I would anticipate, I think Google is a very good resource, and it's free to use. And any Mac or PC, you can download Chrome, the Chrome browser.
Right.
And then
we found out there's two different ways. If you have one device or the other, you have to look at the right instructions.
and then you can set it, you should have your own identification, Google ID. So if you use Gmail or Google Maps, you already have your ID. Right. And then you set one up for your child. And if your child is 13 or younger, you go through this Google Family link.
Yeah, I never even heard of that, so you mentioned it. What is that exactly?
That's something, well, because you're not allowed, I think, legally to have a Google account. It puts restrictions. It enables you to restrict access of that Google account, and they have to get your permission before you can add any apps or go to certain sites.
So that would make sense.
Yeah, so that's a nice way to go about doing that. So what you have to do to take advantage of a lot of the Chrome apps and extensions that are helpful for students is you have to be in Google Chrome and then sign into Google Chrome, and then whatever computer you're on, you get access to all of your Google Chrome apps. So they stay, they move with you depending on where you sign in.
Right, so it's connected with your ID, which is really nice, because then it's not device specific. So if somebody's in the tablet and you need to use a desktop, then that's just fine.
Now if you have an iOS device like a tablet, so this is just computers. So if you're on a PC or a Mac or a Chromebook, you log into Google Chrome. If you're on an iPad or an Android tablet, then you have to go to the particular app, like Google Docs or Google Drive. You don't log into Chrome to get to those.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It can get a little confusing.
It can, yes. And but yeah, I was kind of thrown when they first did those apps on the tablets, because I use my tablet as a computer, and it was like, what do I have to do now?
Now, what kind of tablet? Is it a Windows tablet?
I have a Lenovo, Windows.
Well, Windows is different. If it's a Windows tablet, if it's running the full Windows operating system, you don't need.
Right, I can do both of them, and it's just the apps are so much quicker than going in through Chrome. And,
so to get the apps and extensions that are really helpful with Chrome, you go to the Chrome Web Store, and I put the link in that handout that you're going to make available somewhere.
Yes. Right? Yep. I'll be able to add that into. I'll just upload it. Actually, you already have it on Google Docs, so I will just share the link on this video, and then the video when we publish it on YouTube. And
because that'll be nice for people just to be able to click on, or else you search for the Chrome Web Store. So it's not the iOS App Store, the Android Store. There's so many app stores now. This is the Chrome Web Store.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, and that's where you get some of the extensions that I'm going to talk about in a second.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, move on.
So Google Docs is an example of a Google app that you can get at the Chrome Web Store, but if you have a Google account, it's a native app. It already is in your account as soon as you sign up.
Okay. So Google Play, I think I loaded mine on my
so Google
phone.
Play, you can download Google Docs, and if you have an iPad, you can download Google Docs, the app, and it will sync in exact time. If you have it open on your phone and you have it open on your computer and you dictate into your phone, you can see it written on your computer. If you don't have a microphone, you can do some fun things. So I always, I mentioned before, you can dictate if you go to the toolbar. It just says tools along the top, file and then tools. And where it says tools, if you select that, the drop down will have something called voice typing. and that's dictation. And you just press that, and then you can enable your microphone and start typing, and it's really good. But there are also a lot of other features that you can use with Google Docs that I don't have time to go into now. But Google Docs has a whole store of add-ons just for Google Docs. So you can go a little crazy with this, but Google Docs is pretty much like Microsoft Word. You know, it's just word processing, and it has a lot of great features, and it automatically saves every couple seconds. But even if you're not on Wi-Fi, if you can make it so that you can work on it when you're at the beach or something and don't have Wi-Fi access, and then when you get back into Wi-Fi access, everything will sync for you.
It'll sync in, and yep, I've had that happen just losing internet. It works great, whether you want it to or not.
And so I mentioned before, you know, in the Google world, I like using Google Calendar. And also, I like a product called Google Keep, which is a Google app. And that's a really good to-do list, you know, and you can share, you know, so I'll have students, when they're figuring out what they're going to do at home after school, they'll write down, you know, play outside, have a snack, English 20 minutes, math 20 minutes, and then you can move around the order of things, and you can share it with your parents or another student. And you can show check boxes and check things off when you're done. And it has GPS-based reminders if you want it to, or time-based reminders. It's really great, and it's all free. And
does that sync in with the calendar at all?
No.
It doesn't. Okay.
And
it's just
so
like a separate.
It's a separate thing. It's items that you wouldn't put, that don't have a specific due date necessarily, which you put on your calendar. It's sort of projects.
Okay. That's great.
But a lot of families really like Google Keep just because it's so easy to share and to create fast. It's not like project management. It's not a robust project management tool. It's just really simple and basic to use.